the usual question is, when we got married, we fell in love, we felt that love in the air, and we wanted to get married and continue that. But all of a sudden, we felt like we are growing apart. Things got cold. Kids came to the family. We are busy with work every day. We have to take care of the kids and so forth. These things are making us to grow apart. That's kind of sad in a way, but that's kind of a normal situation as well. That when we get busier, we tend to get busy on our own stuff and we forget about the other person. We go into autopilot. It's kind of an autopilot. I have to be a mom again. I have to be a dad. I have to do my things, and it goes without any effort. And that's when the spark goes away. The spark that used to be at the beginning of our relationship there and was very enjoyable. Let me tell you something. Falling in love, in our other talk, I talked about falling in love. We fall in love in two situations, maybe three, but in two, when we are talking about humans, because we fall in love with God as well. We fall in love first with ourselves, we should, meaning that I know myself, I like who I am, I have some weaknesses, I need to work on those. And in order to fall in love with myself, I need to know myself first. I need to know who I am, what am I good at, what do I need to work on, and then I fall in love with myself, which we call it self-esteem, self-satisfaction, formative enough self-esteem. The other situation is when I fall in love with someone else, a human, another human that I fall in love with. That happens when I get to know that person. I need to know that person pretty well. I respect that person. I love how this person thinks, behaves, talks. And when I love the whole thing about the person, I can say I fall in love. I don't want to change the person. I shouldn't be wanting to change the person and make the person into something else that I want. Then there is no love. And in these situations, I say, you know what? I have myself. I have someone that does everything as I do, and I don't need to get married. But I get married because I want someone else the way that person is. So then I fall in love. Usually, the hormonal love takes about 5 years to fade away. Although it could be different from person to person, but scientifically, it takes about 5 years for those people that they are attracted to each other physically and hormones are helping. Serotonin, oxytocin, these are the hormones that gets the people kind of attracted to each other. Usually, intimacy uh, is producing oxytocin, which is an attachment hormone. It glues two people together. Do you know when that intimacy happens?
When you love someone.
When you love someone. Intimacy meaning
Connection.
connection, sex. When we get intimate with someone, when we are having sex, that oxytocin is going to be secreted and it attaches two people together. In one other occasion, this oxytocin attaches two people when a mother is breastfeeding a child. That oxytocin again attaches the mother to the child. So we see that oxytocin happening. Serotonin is a hormone that usually gets us kind of anxious, obsessed. Have you seen these lovers that they are obsessed about each other? What is she doing? What is he eating? Is she okay? These kind of obsessions happens during those beginning years of the love. These hormones are helping people to get connected, to love each other, to stay loved. But the research shows 4 or 5 years, these kind of hormones go back to normal. And that's the time the hormones are not helping us anymore to keep that love going. We need something else. We need something else to help us to stay in love. What that would be. What is the secret? What is the secret of people that they are 30, 40, 50 years married? They say we love each other.
Respect.
Respect. What? Trust. Trust. Respect. What else?
Giving into the relationship. Investing and giving into
Investing in the relationship. Yes. Huh? Caring. Trust, caring, investing, respect,
seeing the good in the other person.
seeing the good in the other person.
Keeping the fire going.
Oh, keeping the fire go. Okay, I love that. Yes.
Humor.
Huh?
Humor.
Humor. Humor. Yes. Yes. Research shows women love humor in men. Yes. Okay, ladies, what are you guys saying? What else?
Taddy.
What is that
Taddy.
spark?
Someone said Taddy.
Diamond.
Taddy go Gondi.
Tahdigo Gondio. Yes.
Sabe se
Yes.
for-
All right. Yeah. Yeah. That helps. Vacation. Oh yeah, you guys are going to the money direction now. Jewelry? How about jewelry? No, no, I'm okay.
Big diamond.
Big diamonds? Okay. All right, so the hormones fade away, but now we need to work on it. I think a great word is investment. You know, a relationship, any good relationship is a living uh, organism, is a living item that we have to take care of it. Like you have a pet, you have to feed the pet, you have to take care of the pet. You have a flower, you have to take care of the flower. You can just live it. Relationship is like that too. You can't just start a relationship and say, okay, it goes. No, it doesn't go. It stops. If you get the now that we're talking about money, if you buy a very expensive car from dealership and you drive it and you drive it and you drive it and never take care of it, never take it for maintenance, it bips on your dashboard, but you don't pay attention to it, you ignore it, what's going to happen? At the middle of the road, it's going to stop sooner or later. That's our relationship. If you do not take care of it, it stops. Even if it was the best relationship at the beginning. We went to couples therapy, we know each other's families, they are great family, and so on and so forth. Everything was perfect. However, if you don't take care of it. But now we talked about some of these ingredients of this sparkling relationship. Trust, we gotta start with the trust. We keep the trust and we honor the trust and we work on the trust. Why people lie? Why people hide? What happens that all of a sudden two people in a relationship they start lying to each other or hiding things from each other? What do you guys think? What's the lie come from? Fear. What do you say? Fear. Fear. Fear from the fact that, okay, he or she is gonna stop loving me or is gonna judge me. Oh, I hear that a lot. He's gonna judge me or he's gonna think that, I made a bad decision. I don't wanna look bad in front of my wife or my husband. And people will start making some of these assumptions and they turn it into the fear and all of a sudden they start hiding things or just lying to each other. That's when the trust is going to be violated. The trust goes out the door. Respect. What happens that people do disrespect each other?
Not
Self-esteem.
caring enough.
Not caring enough for the other person, how the other person feels, like empathy.
Is this self-esteem?
Self-esteem is one. Yes. Why? Why self-esteem would be a reason that people don't respect each other? Because when I don't feel good about me, I want to bring down someone else. If I love myself, as I started my talk with, I love myself, then I love the other person as well. I don't need to bring them down with disrespect. A lot of disrespect, we talked about this the other time. A lot of disrespect comes from the lack of self-esteem because I want to bring the other person down because it's hurting me already. I don't feel good about me. And we talked about the lashon hara, that people do that because they want to bring the other people down because they don't feel good about themselves. Ghibat, right? So disrespect happens when we don't feel good about ourselves. Disrespect happens when I want to win a fight and I don't have other tools. I resort into disrespect. What else? Disrespect. Why do we disrespect each other in a relationship?
Maybe it's part of what the person saw growing up.
Maybe it's a family culture. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's usual. Maybe this type of language was okay in their home growing up. That was something that what they are used to it. Yeah. That fear of judgment. We do have the fear of judgment, but how we can disrespect because of it, it's the fear of judgment usually comes from the lack of self-esteem as well. When I don't agree with me, I don't like me, then I have the fear of how other people are viewing me, and then I want to show off some sort of power, maybe, and that disrespect would be a sign of a power, wrongfully, of course. But that was how my mom or my dad would show his or her power over us in a childhood. So disrespect is like sometimes could be just funny things, but they are very disrespectful. Yeah, judgments and being funny and being kind of going casual or different just family cultures. I was talking to a client this morning and we were talking about how very, very teeny tiny things in family cultures could actually create frictions in a relationship because it's not normal in my family, but it's normal in the other person's family. And then, boom, we get into clashes. So disrespect is coming from a lot of these reasons. We have to pay attention to it, what we say, uh, and how our vocabulary is being used, how I can convey my meanings, whatever I want to say to the other person. It's very, very important. It helps a lot in a good relationship. In general, not just married relationship, marriage. It's also good for friends and coworkers and neighbors. How we respect each other. That's a very important item. So how we can get that fire going on? So was trust, was respect, physical touch, physical touch, sex, intimacy on regular basis, that we check in with each other. It's not just intercourse all the time. It could be just holding hands, could be just hugging and cuddling and walking, holding hands, just sitting next to each other, and that kind of physical touch. It's very, very important. Research shows, I mean, it goes without saying, what a hug, a simple hug can do in our bodies and in our physiology, how it can reduce the stress with just a normal hug. I mean, just hugging. That's why in our cultures, usually we have a lot of hug and kind of getting and kind of kissing each other and so on, because it helps a lot. Then in a marriage, we need that. We need that touch. We need the touch, and it's not just intercourse. It's the cuddling and hugging and so on. Verbal connection. So especially women, they need this verbal connections and reinforcements. How people can give each other gratitudes,
Can you elaborate
appreciations.
more on the verbal connection?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's how we can thank each other. We can give each other the values and attention verbally. A simple hi, how are you? How did your day go? Very, very simple. It's not anything complicated. It's not anything that we have to really work too much about it. But sometimes we just ignore it because the life becomes automatic. The hormones are gone. Now we are like machines. But we are not into this married life because we are supposed to be machines. We are in this married life because that love in the air not only is going to help me as a father and her as a mother, but also our children, that they feel that love. They get it from the air that is coming to them. That my house, literally, is strong. There is love in my house. This house is not shaky, is not going to break down anytime soon. Then the kids get that trust, the trust that she was talking about in a relationship. Children can get that trust from having a house, a household, a family that is filled with love and care and attention. Then a lot of their fears, anxieties, bedwetting, uh, playing with hairs, nail bitings goes away because they have that safety in their home. My mom loves my dad. My dad loves my mom. They hug each other. They kiss each other. And I oftentimes just tell people, you know what? Kiss each other in front of your children. Let them see that you have love for each other. We kiss our children a lot. Why? But how many of us we do kiss each other? I mean, the married people kissing each other in front of their kids. Show of hands. Show of hands. Be honest. Be honest.
Can
Be
you
honest.
repeat it, please?
Kissing each other in front of our kids, our children, grown ones.
No kids in the house, but.
No kids, grown ones. They come in.
But we do, what about kids get shy when you kiss each other?
Why do
They
they get
don't like
shy?
it. They don't like it.
You mean kissing like you're kissing on the cheek?
On a
Like,
cheek, on a
That's
cheek.
right.
I'm not talking about French kiss.
They say you charge them battery. That's all.
They get jealous.
I don't know. They don't get jealous.
Disgusting.
Shy.
They say that a few times, but then they get used to it. They say that because they don't see it much, because they only see it on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what
Yeah. جانا سخن از دل ما میگویی. But that- yes.
or what if the kids don't even want you to hug them or kiss them? Some
That's okay.
kids
We
don't
respect
even-
them. We respect them. At some certain ages, they don't want to be held. They have their own privacy or their space. That's okay. We respect that. We don't force them to do that. But what I'm saying is that as adults, holding hands, sitting next to each other, talking to each other, appreciating each other at the dinner table. Thank you for this wonderful dinner. Thank you for these flowers. Thank you for uh, buying groceries. These days, going to Ilat Market is a big thing. On a Friday morning, on Thursday, you want to go shopping. It's not easy. So it needs to be appreciated, right? Or cooking all day on Friday for the Shabbat. It's not easy. You have to put a lot of effort to do that and to set the table. Don't you think appreciations is needed there? Or the high holidays when you have to set the table, you have to invite guests coming over and do all the brachas on the table. It's not easy. We have to work hard for it. These need appreciation. A lot of guys tell me, okay, I go to work. There was a gentleman, this is a true story, years ago. I said, sir, do you tell your wife that you love her? He says, doctor, I leave home at 5 in the morning and I come back home at 9. Was that you? You're laughing. No, just kidding.
No, it just reminds me of a joke.
Yeah. So, and that's my love. I show my love with my action, with my work, with the money I bring in. And we are still in the verbal department. And I said, sir, that's very appreciated. Thank you so much for working for your family and yourself, of course. However, you have to tell your spouse, I love you. I missed you. And that goes 1,000 miles when you say that. Culturally, we lack in that department very much. So you said it reminds you of a joke?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to share that with us?
It actually, they asked the Sephardi guy, how come you don't tell you like how much you love her? And he said, well, when we got married, I told her how much I love her. If she changes, I'll let her know.
I'll update her. Right,
Very literal.
right, right. But remember, I started with saying that mezuzah at the door needs to be checked in twice every 7 years. But do we check in our love? So verbal is very important. It's a part of that fire we talk about. That fire that needs to be still on. We need to verbally thank each other and remind each other that I love you. Oftentimes, I tell my kids, did I tell you how much I love your mom? They run away these days. They're tired of it, but I don't give up. I keep saying it. Uh, so it's important that yes, we kiss each other, we hug each other in front of our kids. If they're not used to it, first they might say things and show some reactions. But when they get used to it, that the reactions is not gonna make us not to do it. They're gonna give up, and it's gonna be okay for them. They need this reassurance that my home is warm, filled with love and care, and then a lot of anxieties, obsessions is going to go away. It's not going to be created in the first place, our children, when they live in a warm house that is filled with love. Not a house that's filled with expensive furniture. That's not